know, that's the help that the students need at this point. Iron Fist. Yeah, that's what they really need at this point, especially Deku, who's absolutely done after going a bit over 100% in order to bring down the muscles. Yeah, that's what they need. They need Iron Fist. It's just, looking at the title, I'm like, wait, so this is what happened to Iron Fist after it got cancelled or whatever? I'm kidding. Hello everyone, Liam Catterson here, and we are reacting to episode number 5 of season 3 for My Hero Academia. Bloody hell, bells, last episode. I mean, I absolutely love this show so much. The raw emotion and the strength that comes from Izuku, from the characters, it just absolutely captures your heart so much. And I'm going to set it a bit further back. It's absolutely empowering to see. It's absolutely wonderful, beautifully done. And I absolutely do love how this show just continues to impress me, especially since I think that season 3 is going to be a bit more. It's gonna I feel like it's gonna absolutely captivate the viewers more, and it's gonna bring it's not gonna be as easy to go through. I feel like season 2 was a lot more easier in terms of the UA students and all of that, because we had the League of Villains with the USJ, and I mean, going through the UA Sports Festival wasn't completely, like, there were still a case of emotions for characters like Todoroki, but yeah, I feel like the villains, especially with Tamura, with the attack that is happening right now, and we're yet to see All For One come out and play. Yeah, it's not going to be plain sailing for the students this season, so I absolutely am ready to see what this show has on offer. But yeah, last episode we had a lot of focus on Izuku trying to save Kota from that muscular guy who I was thinking at first was Bakugo's dad, but it's probably not, because it's all down to the quirks and all of that. Otherwise, he just sounds and looks a bit like Bakugo, and the thing that triggered it was the fact that he required Bakugo. So if he's not Papa Bakugo, then why is Bakugo required? So that'll be very, very interesting. Maybe he's jealous of how powerful he is and how impressive he is when he's on the field or something like that. Who knows? Yeah, last episode was great. We also got a bit of a focus on everywhere else, especially Tokuyami's revelry in the dark. I love that quote. That has to be on a t-shirt right now, surely. No, but we got a bit of focus. Dabi attacked Aizawa, but we didn't get anything about that, so we'll probably find out what Aizawa is up to after his encounter with Dabi. And yeah, I mean, there's that, like I said, we only got, there's like, what, 10 villains, I guess, overall attacking the camp. So we only brought down one, it seems, whereas everyone else is trying to battle with the rest of the villains and all of that. We know a few of the wild pussycats are not having the best of times, especially one that Magnet guy apprehended, like one of the wild pussycats. I forgot which one it was, because there's so many of them. But there's only 4. But yeah, whatever. I'm trying to make excuses. One of the wild pussycats was contained by that Magnet kind of guy, yeah. So it's not looking too good at the minute, as well as the fact that we don't know what's happened to Aizawa. He could be dead for all we know. But we're not playing that trick again. We thought that was happening at the USJ, and yeah. But yeah, this is My Hero Academia, episode number 5. The full reaction should be on Patreon. I'm looking forward to seeing where things do go. So with that said, let's go.
Show me your blood!
Show me your muscles!
For justice to be served!
1,000,000%! Delaware! It's
Yeah, it must have mixed those two up to create one uber smash.
I've been thinking of it as an RPG. We had some pretty good equips, but we challenged the big boss while still at level 1.
That's a pretty great
Really,
analogy.
It's more of a simulation game. I'm the player, and I'll use all my little pawns to smash through the hero's ranks.
Nice
But
analogy,
first, I
Tamura.
need to make cracks in the superhuman world.
They're sacrificial pawns?
Come on. Do you really think I'm that heartless? I'd never underestimate their strength. They may have different goals than me, but they're comrades nonetheless. In a society bound by ridiculous rules, villains aren't the only ones who are being oppressed.
What do you want with Bakugo?
This off.
They must be wanting to use Bakugo or something like that.
On top of that, it sounds like they're after some of us students. I have to let
What
Mr.
do they
Ozawa
want?
and the Pussycats know that's one of the reasons they're here. I may
mean,
be injured, but I'm not defeated yet. There are more
They
people
specifically
I can save.
named Cold Bakugo, so...
We'll leave this villain here for the time being. With my arms messed up, my smash was probably weaker than it could have been. But I still think it's taken him down for a while.
Yeah.
I won't wake up.
Are your friends hiding?
My what?
Your right arm's next.
Ooh,
Be logical about
badass!
this. At least save your legs. It would be a real pain to have to carry you off to jail without them.
Nice.
You can take your time. Erase your head. Tell me, hero. You worried for your students?
Whoa,
Fire that he shot
what?
earlier wasn't his quirk?
I wonder if you can save them in the end. See you soon.
Can he...
To mind your self-esteem, even on a perilous mission.
Whatever, Twice. Just make another one of me. We need to keep those pros
Oh, so it was
Another
him.
small fry coming right out. Leave it to me.
So he can clone, basically. Nice.
A little
Okay.
bit further.
So it wasn't... But they can use their quirk still, can't they?
Those injuries. You went too far again, didn't you?
You'd
Have
have
you
to,
forgotten
though.
about Hosu?
That's why it's against the law for uncertified people to use their quirks to cause injury.
Yeah, but
None of
he
you
had
have the
to.
authority to harm the villain.
No, I haven't.
Go.
No fair! Back off! Let me equip my item.
I mean, you're strong. Surely you can put up a fight against Tiger.
You're not a real hero. You brought this on
And you're
yourself.
batshit crazy.
You're persistent.
As are you. But it's time to knock you off your false throne.
Wow!
Mandalay! Coda! He's safe!
You found him?
Students, I wonder if you can save them in the end.
His words made it clear to me that our students are the targets.
Yep.
So it's unavoidable. They have to protect themselves and each other.
That's the
Go ahead and
case.
use your training. I'll take the heat.
Tell everyone in
Oh.
Class A and Class B that Eraserhead has granted the permission to engage in combat with the villain!
He's gonna take the rap. Holy shit.
Never even thanked him. Please tell me he's not gonna get hurt more, right?
Don't worry. He sustained those injuries because he has no intention of dying. Though as his teacher, when this is over, I'll have to scold him for acting without my permission.
But
Anyway,
hey,
you'll get your chance to talk to him again. And when you do,
Tell me that little kid is more powerful than him. In that case, this child must be put down.
Don't fix it.
yeah, well, tough luck with that.
What the hell was
Whoa!
that for, Spinner? He was on the priority kill list.
Shigaraki's the one who wants him dead.
Yeah, and he's the reason we're here.
His
But
hands.
that boy is someone
Shigaraki.
Stain wished to save, which means he was deemed worthy of being called a true hero.
Damn, he's replicating Stain to the bottom of... Oh!
About time I got a solid hit in.
Going after work, do my job.
What is your deal?
You listening to Mandalay? They're here because they're after you. Telling us not to engage and then changing their minds. I don't know how, but I get the feeling this is Deku's fault.
Oh, no, Bakugo, this is for your own
I don't
good.
care what anyone says!
Shh. Oh my god, Bakugo! If he can deal with him...
He's good at moving through this terrain with his quirk.
Place, not acting naturally. And look,
It's definitely denser here than it was in the area we just ran away from.
Is that the strongest source?
So what?
I think it's swirling around one source, somewhere near here, like a typhoon.
Exactly.
If that's true, there should
That's
be
what I
someone
was
who's
thinking.
producing
Nice,
the gas
nice.
at the center of the storm. A villain who's controlling it.
Oh, I get it now! Oh man, Kendo!
Kendo.
You're so amazing!
Yeah! He's a little one note, but he's not wrong.
Shiozaki and our other classmates suffered because of this villain's stupid power. Stuff like that really pisses me off.
Go on, Tetsu
Let's teach
Tetsu!
this bad guy a lesson, Kendo.
I'm loving him. And these two are great.
Don't say I don't like the sight of you.
Because now it's just a matter of how long you can hold your breath in this toxic miasma.
Seriously, he pulled a gun? He took out my mask with one shot. What's this shorty's
Pretty
deal?
impressive.
And why is he wearing a school uniform? He's probably my age.
Maybe.
What? Do you think you're the Terminator? Even if you can steal yourself, charging straight in is a fool's move. Shouldn't you be smarter if you go to UA?
Oh boy.
Don't be so rash.
This guy's gloating.
Use your
Nice.
head, or you're not worth killing. You're shattering the image I had of your school. What a shame.
You're getting too gloaty. Oh boy. Yeah, this is... Oh, yeah, that's not happening.
What's this? You seem softer than you were earlier. Let
His
me guess,
quirk's
maybe mental
diminishing.
fatigue? Or is it because you can't breathe anymore? How many more shots can you take? Brace yourself for another. You have simple one-note quirks.
You know what? Why don't you take your mask off? I'm sure you're not that bad looking.
Hey, you guys want to grow up to be heroes, right? Something like
guy.
that is so strange to me. For people to fawn over someone like you. One-trick pony.
I feel so bad for Tetsu Tetsu.
You went to school.
He's getting...
What's wrong with this world?
Yeah, that's not helping.
Oh crap, I got Bruce strengths going. Visions distorted. Everything is fading.
Tetsu, come on. Go on,
I
Kendo!
told you, I can tell exactly how you're moving thanks to the flow of the gas.
Oh!
You know where I am!
But did you know that?
I think you'll win with that pitiful quirk.
Whether it's pitiful or not, completely depends on how I use it!
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
you!
Just how much power?
Mine!
The gas got thinner, so I didn't realize.
Exactly.
Everyone else is ready to give up!
Go, Tetsu! Oh!
They take another step and go beyond!
Brilliant! Good work, team. Good. See, these two make a fantastic team.
It's disappearing.
Ability gets stronger when I'm in darkness, but that makes Dark Shadow aggressive and difficult to control.
No, don't tell me.
Yeah. If we want to get through here, we'll have to face Dark Shadow first.
Wow. Oh no. Yep, that is the aggression.
Stay away from me.
Oh man, Dutch. That is a really, really bad kickback. Revelry in the dark. So yeah, that was great. I mean, this is an insult to injury, isn't it, though? That Dark Shadow is out of control. They've got to deal with powerful villains, the vanguard of the League of Villains. Yeah, they've got to deal with them. And now Dark Shadow is just adding salt on the wound, now that we've got to deal with him. So, yeah, it's not looking too good, but I'm really... It does open up a very, very interesting battle. If any... Like, I like the idea that it's just adding insult to injury, and it's just not making life any easier. Like, that it's an unnecessary... I wouldn't say unnecessary for the story, but... It's a situation that the UA students didn't need, and here we are. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see how we're going to overcome Dark Shadow. But yeah, this was pretty interesting. Gotta say, I did love the focus on Class B, albeit it was just Tetsu and Kendo. Who are two incredible characters, by the way. You can't fault them. But it's clear that Kendo was the brains behind this, and Tetsu was more strength. wise, especially with his hardened ability, and it did prove to be a bit of a vulnerability at the more time he spent confronting Mustard. But also with that, Mustard seemed to know who Tetsu was all about. Gotta say, I did love him lecturing Tetsu throughout until he got his comeuppance. But yeah, the thing that stands out for me so much is the fact that Mustard seemed to have known that limitation and Tetsu in general, probably stemming from the sports festival, which needs to be reevaluated because it's clearly, I mean, obviously it can't help for someone who can read minds and know about characteristics of a person. That can't be helped, but to minimise damage, the UA Sports Festival might need to be reevaluated because it all goes back to the practical exams when that had to be changed because of the times. The times have been shifting because now they know how more unhinged the threat is becoming, and that's got to be the same with the sports festival. Sure, it's a good way to show heroes like who's hot commodity for to a point in terms of a sidekick and all of that, but there is that vulnerability that it's given Mustard that idea. Like, this is assumption, because unless Mustard has some kind of backstory with Tetsu or something like that, which clearly wasn't alluded to in this episode, then it's got to do with something about the fact that his quirk was basically exposed, and the League of... Well, it's the fact that everyone, even Tamura, was watching the League of Villains, watching the UA Sports Festival, analysing everyone. So it's not just going to be Tamura, it's going to be everyone else. It's this is the thing though, they did say it was more anticipated, more watched than the Olympics, so it put the Olympics to shame. So there is a high chance that there could be some people who might not have watched the sports festival out of the Vanguard group, but they could have someone who could say, these are all of our targets and here are their vulnerabilities, so exploit that as much as you can. This is the thing. You're going to watch the UA Sports Festival and pick apart. That's going to need to be evaluated because it's basically putting a target on the kid's back. So yeah, that's my main thought of it, because it's best to minimize the damage. Like I said, it's obviously not helped for someone who can tap into someone's mind or quirks, like being able to identify them, but it's scary that Mustard knew about Tetsu because of the sports festival. So yeah, that needs to be reevaluated, like the practical exams, to fit with the times. So yeah, but I did love the dynamic between Kendo and Tetsu, and the focus, because we don't really get much of Class B because it's Class A, it's Class 1A, that's the focus. So to spend the majority of the second part of this episode focusing on them two, especially considering we do appreciate those characters and not someone like Monoma who would just want to punch in the throat. Yeah, focusing on them two was a real blessing because they are really, really great characters and I absolutely do enjoy seeing them. Yeah, I really, really loved the fact that Kota was expressing how sorry he was, especially with a low blow. Bakugo isn't sorry. So yeah, but I really, really loved how apologetic he was after the fact that Deku saved him, and he was really, really concerned with Deku, especially with how messed up he was. And Aizawa was basically saying, yeah, he's going to get a bit of a lecture, because there was that nice callback from the aftermath of Stain, where he was, where Izuku, Ida, and Todoroki were chastised for using their quirks unofficially. And yeah, I think it had to come to the point where they had to use their quirks because, this is the thing. They would, no matter what, they would always go and attack the students. They were like, they're not going to be standing there open season and all of that. They had to use their quirks to especially Deku against Muscular. He had to use that in order to stop him from not only from being crushed and all of that, but that's another step. He was crushed and all of that, but to stop him from basically ripping him apart and basically being like, hey, I'm a target, so come at me, but also to save Kota as well. So yeah, and they had to use their quirks. Whereas with the Stain situation, it was more Ida ran into that battle. He picked the fight based on his vengeance. And Izuku and Todoroki, they were worried for Ida, so and they didn't want him to die and all of that, so they did what heroes do. Added to the fact that Stain was a known hero killer, basically, so he had to be stopped from killing Ida. But it's not like Stain showed up with the League of Villains and decided to attack. And you have to remember, I don't know how powerful Muscular is. If he's super powerful, because you have to remember, Stain is quite limited. His quirk seems to suggest that it's not that great. Whereas you look at Muscular, and even Deku was broken by it. He had to put two of his smashes together to. I'm guessing that's 200% then, in real terms, not the exaggerated 1,000,000%. But he had to put two quirks together to overpower Muscular, whereas Stain is quite limited and all of that. So yeah, they had to use their quirks at the end of the day though, because otherwise they'd be sitting ducks. They may as well just sign their death notice early on and all of that. I also loved regarding Stain how Spinner, I think it was, the one that's so trigger happy with the swords. Yeah, he like, they are all devoted to Stain's cause, as we know. Stain's had a really, really big influence on the Vanguard group. But it seems like Spinner is the most devoted member of the Vanguard group, considering the fact that the Magnet guy was ready to stop Izuku, and he was ready to kill him. But Spinner was basically thinking about the fact that Stain saw Izuku as being worthy as a hero and saved him, because Stain did see value in Izuku. So I like the aspect that there's one member who is basically Stain's biggest fanboy. They are all inspired by what Stain did, but it's Spinner, of all people, who's basically the biggest fanboy. So yeah, that was very, very interesting to go around. I thought at first that Dabi as well was that when he melted, it was part of his quirk, because he can produce blue flames. So melting his physical body would probably work out well. But it was great to see Twice as well come into play, where it's interesting how he can duplicate not only the embodiment of someone else, but he can seemingly replicate the quirk, which would be really, really handy for the heroes, especially Deku. Especially if you put him up against Muscular. Holy shit, that would be insane, wouldn't it? Like, that would be, what, 400% basically, considering he put two smashes together. So that would be 4 together in unison. So that would be great. And it seems like it's not like that that Skullface guy at the practicals, where he could duplicate himself like up to 30 times and all of that. He could only do it twice, it seems. But yeah, I thought that was the thing. But I thought the introduction to Twice was a good way to explain why he just disappeared in front of Aizawa. But I've got to say, that fight between Aizawa and Dabi was really, really great, especially how Aizawa was threatening to break him. Their shade was brilliant. And also Tamura has a lot of good... this is the thing I've noticed, because Tamura does have a lot of references to video games, doesn't he? Like, I don't know if it's just me, but he does seemingly... Whenever he makes a good analogy, he always reflects to video games. He was analysing the Vanguard and basically comparing them to... I love the fact that he was basically comparing level 1s to like a level 99 boss and how easily slaughtered they would be. So yeah, but he was basically talking about the Vanguard, and I love that he doesn't have a win or lose objective, where at the USJ I think it was more of a like it has to be a victory. We need All Might dead. So with this, he's not really fussed, although he does prefer victory. He just wants the students to be fragmented, basically, after this attack. So I really, really enjoyed that aspect. But yeah, this was a really, really great episode. Gotta say, though, I'm really interested to see what they want with Bakugo, because it seems like it's not just... so it seems like that theory is 100% dead about Muscular being... I mean, it wouldn't make sense anyways, considering he doesn't have that explosion quirk anyways. But it was so interesting that the first emphasis of the League of Villains needing Bakugo came from someone who kind of sounded and looked, in terms of hairstyle, like Bakugo. But it seems like there seems to be more... like Tamura was focused on getting Bakugo. The guy was worrying when he had the idea that Muscular must have spoken about the objective to get Bakugo. So I'm wondering what they specifically need Bakugo, because Deku said, oh, they must be after all of them, but I didn't really hear Muscular say, hey, so where's Uraraka, where's Ida? Like, he didn't go about that. He only said Bakugo, and that seems to be replicated from Tamura's fixation of getting the... I think it's got something to do with the fact that he won the UA Sports Festival, and they might see Bakugo as hot commodity. Like, they want to capture Bakugo because he might be the next number one villain. Not number one villain, but I mean, he could act like it, Liam, but no. He might be the next number one hero, and they don't want someone who could be potentially better than All Might to be the next number one hero. So Bakugo is probably hot commodity since he won the UA Sports Festival. But we'll just have to wait and see where this story with the desire to get Bakugo goes. And it's shaping up to be a very, very interesting story. But yeah, that was a great episode. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check out the videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!